Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Really glad you're here today.
We are here today to talk about how you can close more sales with video, but there's so much more that we are getting into today. So we're really excited to hear from you. Go ahead, if you're here live with us on Zoom, head into the chat. Let us know who you are, who you work with, what do you do, and connect with our community here. We've got a great bunch of people who join us here every week. We are live every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time, showing you how to get more out of AttractWell. And if you aren't an AttractWell member, of course, you're welcome here as well. It's a great place to learn more about us. And today we're actually going to talk about how you can make your sales more effective. So your sales cycle more effective, how you present, how you close, and how we're specifically going to use video to do that. And the inspiration behind this is a new feature that we announced last week in the AttractWell system. We do have a couple other really cool feature updates that we're going to get into today as well. We have a live work review scheduled, so we've got a lot to get into. So definitely head over into the chat again. We're really thrilled to have you here with us today. Greg and I here at the beginning are going to pop out a video so we can get into our slides. And then we'll come back and join you when we get into discussion later on today's call. So today, again, we're talking about how to close more sales with video. We've got a full system to walk you through here today with automations. So today, we're going to talk about how you can create momentum in your business and increase your sales using video as a sales tool. And the most effective way, in my view, for you to do that. This is going to be of special import to you if you are someone who needs to have a conversation with a lead before you give them an opportunity to work with you. So if you are a coach, if you are a practitioner, if you are a consultant, if you're a service provider, if you are in direct sales or network marketing, all of these are going to apply beautifully to you. We're going to be talking about an approach today that fundamentally has human touch and conversation, and not literal touch. This is all virtual, but you actually being an active part of the process. But we're going to build an incredible amount of leverage into that process, make it super effective. You're going to get the best of both worlds from an old school way of growing and sharing, and of course, get the benefit of all of the automations that you can utilize to make that a more effective use of your time. And we're going to talk about how to get that done with AttractWell today, as promised, of course. And as always, we have live help and Q&A. And Greg will, of course, be sharing here at the top of the call some exciting news about some of our features. If you are watching this as a replay, be sure to join us on one of these live calls. If you'd like to do that, you can go to attractwell.com/office hours. To be invited to join us on these calls every week. We'll send you a link to hop on Zoom and be here with us. And if you'd like to work together live on a call like this one, we dedicate the second half of this hour to Q&A and live work. So if you'd like to set aside time to work together on whatever you need help with, you can go to attractwell.com/work review. Now, if you need a hand, maybe something a little bit more involved, if you'd like for someone to do some of the work for you, we've got a team that can help you do that. It's attractwell.com/concierge. You can set up a call with our team and you can work out the details and get a quote for your project. They're really awesome. So definitely check them out. Now, before we get into the answer to this question, Greg, let's hear about these cool updates in the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen here. Okay. So yeah, there's a couple of updates today. One of them is around managing team members, and the other one is this smaller update to the carousel tool inside of the page editor. So I'm going to start with the team member one. So if you're not familiar with it, all AttractWell accounts have the option to add team members to your account. And by team member, I mean somebody who can log in to your AttractWell account and manage whatever that you give them access to here, in the menu. If you don't want them to have access to contacts or store or whatever, that's something you can certainly set up. So if you're not familiar with this, some of the plans do come with free accounts. Others, and you can always go beyond that and add on extra accounts if you want to. Others don't have any free accounts. But anyway, the change here, and this feature's been here for a really long time, but the change here today is a little more extra granularity when it comes to the permissions. So when I'm adding a team member, editing an existing one, for example, there's now some new checkboxes here for member area and store. Previously, it used to be these two didn't used to be here. So if you had my site turned on, that will give them access to this team member account. It would give that person access to the member area and the store. Now that isn't always desired. There may be some use cases where, well, there are, people have requested this over the years. There have been some cases where it just doesn't make sense to give everyone access to the member area and the store when they just need, for example, a page builder or whatever the case might be, or maybe it's reversed. They only need access to the store, but not the page builder. So now that you can actually do that, these checkboxes, these new ones, member area and store, let you do that. And so if you have, for example, store checked, and let me close this and expand those out, store and member area. If you have these set up so that they don't have access to the member area, then that person, while they may see this in the menu, if they click on it, it doesn't allow them to do it. And so the same is for store. It basically blocks access to the store here if you don't have that checked. Now, this could be useful, especially with the member area. The situation this has come up with frequently is there'll be a few coaches who are sharing the same account, and there's a private account a private client that one has and a different private client the other one has, and they want, the permission needs to be restricted at the vault level. And as such, so when you check on member area, when you click this, now you can pick which vaults that the person gets access to. And so this is access inside of the member area. So like when they're logging into whatever your domain name is /members, this would be what they would be restricted to, only the vaults that you choose here. If you pick no vaults, they get access to all the vaults automatically. That's because that's kind of the default setting. Everyone gets access to it, and that's how it's been. But it does not restrict access inside the back office, but that doesn't mean those people can see everything in there. They can't, because they can't access the member area. They can't log in to there and see discussion room posts and comments and lesson comments and some of those other features. So in other words, it enables a higher level of confidentiality when you restrict it down to specific vaults. So that's a new feature. That's been something that's been long requested, is the ability to have specific vault level permissions for team members who might be helping you out. Now the other feature, the other little change here is a small change to the page builder, the carousel. I'm going to come in here and just create a new blank page just to start off with nothing. And then I'm going to add under interactive here, I'm going to add the carousel. We've got these different interactive widgets. But the carousel now has a new setting under style where you can choose an automatic height. The automatic height usually works best if you have a custom slide instead of just an image, although it does work well with images too. But sometimes custom content can be bigger than what this little slider will allow, and it would end up cutting it off. So automatic will automatically adjust. No matter what your content is, it'll make the carousel the same height as all of the slides essentially in the carousel, which can be useful in some cases. So if you're having trouble with it looking right and you can't quite get the right size and the slider isn't working for you, click automatic and that will help. So that has helped out recently with a few carousel issues that have come across our support team. So yeah, hopefully these changes are helpful. Certainly reach out to support or let me know here in chat if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Greg. I think for those of us who have vaults and have teams, that first one you shared there is particularly exciting. So you guys, Greg does so much to just keep this improving, and we have these improvements because folks like you are reaching out and saying, can it do this? Can it do that? So thank you guys for all of your feedback, and thanks to Greg for keeping this thing just constantly getting better and better. All right, now let's get into today's training, you guys. I would love to hear from you. Do you have a system around how you share and sell what you offer? Now, again, remembering that, we are coming from the perspective today of someone who, in order to effectively sell what you're selling, you need to have a little bit of a qualifying conversation with somebody. What does that look like for you? Do you have a discovery call that you offer? What information do you share when you are sharing information, right? If you are in direct sales, depending on the product that you offer, there could be boatloads of information. How do you decide what you show, right? And how do you place it together in such a way that you are effective in sharing and selling what it is that you do? All right. So if you want to build a system to sell something, it's pretty simple. The steps are very simple. You just have to make sure that you are following them correctly, of course, in the right order. And then, when we want to look at optimizing our system, taking a couple of steps to make sure that it's extra effective in the places where it could fall apart. So let's take a quick look at this. The 4-step system to selling something, and this is human to human, not machine to human selling, right? We're not talking about automated selling. We are talking about you selling something to your future client. So the first thing you have to do is invite, right? You have to, of course, be in some kind of a prospecting conversation, or maybe somebody has qualified themselves becoming a lead on your site, but there is an invitation, right? They have acknowledged that they have a problem or a goal, and you can help them solve or achieve whatever that thing is, right? And so you invite them. You say, hey, if I could show you a way to solve this problem. Hey, I've got a video that actually shows you how you could solve that problem. Hey, I've got a course, or I've got a this, I've got a that, right? If I could show you a way to reach that goal in this many days, weeks, months, if I could show you a way to solve that problem, would you be interested? That's the invitation, right? Many of us invite in different ways. Obviously, this is going to vary depending on your business and what you're selling. But the first step is to invite. Somebody needs to be willing to look at something. Then you need to actually show them something. You're going to share information. Now, if you're doing discovery calls, you may be following a call flow, a sequence, where you are asking questions and you're kind of divining what it is that you need to be able to present in order to close that sale, right? But there are other ways, right? You don't just have to be one-on-one with a person on Zoom, on the phone, and whatever that looks like. There are tools that you can use. Perhaps you have used video. We do know that we're going to be talking about video here today. And then, of course, after they've reviewed the information that you present to them, we need to follow up, right? Do they have questions? Do they have objections? Do they have concerns? Are they ready to get started? And then, of course, we get them started. We close, right? These are the 4 steps. Do you want to look at information? Yes. Here's the information. Do you have questions? Let's get started. Those are the steps, right? Now, the fastest way to get this done, period, end of story, in the age of social media and the internet, is with video. There is not a faster way to get this done than with video, especially, again, if you are somebody that needs to have a personal touch, a conversation, a relationship with the person that you are selling something to. Now, let's talk about what it looks like to share and close with video. So the first thing we need to do, of course, like we mentioned before, we need to invite to review information, right? I have a video that explains this, right? Do you have 20 minutes? And then 20 after, right? I've got a video that's about 20 minutes long. When can we set aside 40 minutes to take a look at some information and then chat about it, right? Invite to review. They say yes. You choose to meet now if they've got that 40 minutes, hypothetical, or if it's sometime in the future for them to review the video and discuss it with you immediately after. That's the expectation, right? Then when it's time, you're going to send them the link to review the video. After they've reviewed the video, we're going to follow up after they've watched it and ask a couple of key questions to close, right? To seal the deal, find out if they have objections, and move forward. This is the complete system of sharing and closing with video. Has anybody done anything similar to this? Have you ever used a video to sell? And whether you have or not, do you recognize where this system might fall apart? The breaking point? Let's go back and look at it for a second. We invite to review information. They say yes. We're going to have you watch a video. And remember, we're remote. I'm not sitting next to this person. We want to be able to do this with 50 people at a time if we wanted to, right? So we're going to review information. I'm going to talk with you after you've reviewed it. I'm giving you a link. I'm going to trust that you're going to watch it. And then we're going to talk after you've watched it. And then I'm going to be able to ask you these questions and close. What's the breaking point here? The breaking point? How on earth do you know if they actually watched the video? And how much of the video did they watch? Did they click the link at all? Did they only make it through half of the video? Did they make it to the point where the presentation actually showed them information that they need to know in order to say yes and purchase? Did they see enough of it? Or did they watch it at all? And how much time could you see yourself spending, or how much angst could you feel yourself having with having to follow up and say, hey, did you watch that video I sent you? Did you watch all of it? Right? It's awkward and it's not efficient, right? Especially if you're someone who's trying to collapse timeframes, build momentum, and maybe generate a lot of sales, right? I have filled group programs this way. I've built network marketing teams this way. This is an old school thing, but this was the one thing that always created the issue. Did the person even watch the video? And did they see enough to be able to make a decision, right? So we have solved this problem here with AttractWell. And I say we, Greg did this. So Greg made this incredible feature here. This is video tracking, you guys. So you can now create a link to a video in your system, and you can know if that person clicked the link to watch the video. You can track how much of the video that they've watched. You can get notified by the system when they start playing the video. When they press play, you can get a text from the system that says, hey, this person's watching the video right now. You can have an automation go out to that person after they've watched a particular percentage of the video to maybe say, hey, notice you weren't able to finish it. Do you need me to resend the link? And you don't have to remember to send it because you can have the system do it for you. And then if they finish the video, and you can decide what finish looks like. Finish can be 80%. It could be 90%. It could be 70%. It's up to you, right? If they finish the video, that automation that would have sent them that, hey, do you need the link, doesn't have to send to them at all, right? And you can get notified, hey, this person completed the video. Let's go ahead and give them a call, right? Or shoot them a text and say, hey, you ready to hop on a call? I noticed you're done with that video. How much more effective do you think you would be if you could know the steps that people are taking, right? And you could have a system that is keeping an eye on whether or not someone is actually taking those steps. Powerful stuff. All right, so let's talk about how to get started with this. First, you need to create a video that presents and sells, right? This is going to be something that you would use as a presentation, right? And something that you might have otherwise done if you were going to sit one-on-one with someone in a Zoom call and go through your slides and talk about the problem and talk about how, your program works and what working together looks like, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe, maybe some video testimonials from some of your clients if you've got them. How cool would that be? Put all of that into a video, right? Pop that into your video manager in AttractWell. Make note of at what point in the video would you say it is sufficient, that person has seen enough to be able to make a decision, have an idea of the percentage, how far along would they be? Then create some resources to support your follow-up and create automations. Now, this is totally optional. I'm going to show you a very simple, straightforward way to get this done. And I will also demonstrate kind of how you can create those instances where you've got the system maybe nudging them to go back and finish watching the video if you want to have something like that in place, right? And of course, making sure that any of those campaign messages might be removed from that contact, not sending to that contact if they take the sufficient steps that you want them to take to complete watching the amount of the video that you want, right? So to do this, if you wanted to create these automations, you would put campaigns together for this purpose. Again, one that might say, hey, I noticed you weren't able to complete the video. Did you need me to resend the link? Right? That would be one. Follow-up plans might be another. If you have, maybe if you allow a longer period of time between when they review information and when you get in touch with them. So maybe you want a reminder from your system to follow up 24, 48 hours later, right? If you've got a video that's talking about a that's talking about a program that you sell that's $8,000, you might not be pushing for an immediate close if you're B2B, right? They may need to be conferring with other decision makers in their business or practice, right? So you may not be, jumping the gun and, calling them right away as soon as they're done watching a video, but you may send them a follow-up email right away, right? You may go ahead and offer them an opportunity to hop on your calendar, right? So you can create these campaigns and follow-up plans to cover those bases for you so that you are able to show up when it matters most, which is to close, right? You're letting the tool do the presenting for you, and then you are able to show up when it matters most. All right, so using this system looks like this. We're going to invite them to review information. You're going to set that time to share or follow up. You're going to go in and create a shareable link for that contact, and then select any of the automations, of course, that you want to apply at those different stages. Make sure that you are getting notified. I like text for this personally, but you could get an email, you could get an app notification in the AttractWell app when that person has watched enough of the video for you to move forward toward the close, and then call them or whatever else it is that you need to do after they have reviewed that information. And then you can let those automations you've created handle those supporting communications. Again, the little follow-ups. If they didn't do what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it, you have a system that can go and nudge them toward completing that step so that you don't have to be the one trying to keep track of it, because your time ought to be spent maybe speaking to another prospect and getting them into this system, right? So let's go take a look at this, see it in action, and then we will get into our Q&A. I notice we've got a few coming in here that are related to both this as well as some other features in the system. So starting from the beginning here, we are in our dashboard in AttractWell. If you're here on a Thursday, it'll look like this. Otherwise, it'll look just like this. We're going to come down here to video in our content library. And I'm going to go grab a webinar. A webinar, if you've done one already and the webinar sells something, if it presents value and sells something, this might be a really great tool for you to use. So here's my awesome webinar. And right here, you can see I've selected the box, share with link. When I check that box, get link appears. So I'm going to click that. I want to get a link for a specific contact. So I could just get a link, period. And this is going to track, like if you just get a link to share with anybody, that's going to show up in your video statistics here, which is cool, right? You can see who's watched, or you can see how much has been watched, right? Average watch time, etc. But what if I want to see what a particular person does? And very specifically, I want to make sure that I get notified to act or have the system act on my behalf. That's where we're going to get a shareable link for a specific contact. So here's a specific contact. We're going to track the percentage of video watched. I want to make sure, and this is where you can actually choose. If it were me in this case, what I want to do is I want to know if the person clicks the link, then I want to maybe attach an automation here that sends a campaign maybe 24 hours later that says, hey, do you need me to resend that link to you? Okay. Now, what you can do as well is maybe down here, and I don't necessarily need to get an automation. I don't need to get a notification when they click the link. That's my preference. But maybe if I know that they start playing the video, maybe I don't need an automation here, but I do want to get notified. So maybe text me if they actually they start watching the video, just so I'm aware. I could maybe, if I'm working right then, I can make sure that I'm available, right? You could choose as well to maybe run an automation here that has a follow-up plan that reminds you to touch base with them. Maybe you just get a notification, so the next morning, if they watch it at night, you're reminded to maybe pop in and say something. Now, if they only watch some of the video, maybe if they make it, 50% of the way through, maybe here, again, I don't need to be notified, but maybe I'll put an automation here that, offers to resend the link to them. Hey, I noticed you were able to maybe watch some of the video, but not all of it, to maybe to resend the link, right? And we can maybe remove the campaign from the automation we put up here, right? So we could basically have conditional response happening here. And then finally, because I know that if they make it through 85% of this video, they've seen enough to make a decision. I want to be notified via text when this happens. And of course, I want to maybe have an automation run here that removes any of these follow-up campaigns that I've applied if they have not completed the video, right? So I want to run an automation that removes any of that automated communication with them. And of course, in any of these stages, we can tag. Now, if you want to keep this super simple, just give yourself notifications for when they're at different stages, and then you can go and actively respond to them based on the action that they've taken. Right? But this is just so powerful. If you want to make sure that somebody has seen what they need to see, you've got the ability to do it, and you've got the ability to have the system follow up on your behalf and send messages or give you to-dos, change their tags, add or remove campaigns, etc., because these are automations based on the actions that they've taken, or depending on how you set it up, the actions that they haven't taken, which is pretty cool in my book. I love using systems like this because if for anything that you do in your business that you do over and over again, if you repeat the same thing over and over again, why wouldn't you have a tool that says that thing for you that you could just point somebody to, right? We've done training on kind of curriculumizing, coursifying your coaching if you are a coach, or really no matter what you do, if you have some kind of onboarding, some degree of education that clients need to engage with in order to have success with working with you, why wouldn't you do that, right? You're going to say it for everybody you work with. Why not make a thing that says it for you? And of course, if you're going to do that for clients, why not do something like that with sales, right? If you don't love presentations, if you feel like you get long-winded in them, if you want to make sure that somebody sees everything they need to see before you start engaging with Q&A, right? This is a fantastic system to follow. So I'm very curious to see what your questions are at this point. And of course, feel free to send those in. We did have a live review sign up, but it's for somebody who doesn't have an AttractWell system. So the team might have reached out. But Lisa, if you're here, so I see you did sign up. If you're here, please do raise your hand. I'm absolutely happy to chat with you and answer any questions that you have. And if Lisa's not here, which I think she's not, and anyone else would like to maybe review strategy, hop on live and chat back and forth about maybe what we've talked about here today or other things you're working on, you're more than welcome to pop your hand up and we can chat. So Celeste had a couple of questions here I'm going to answer. So what is the leg builder? That doesn't pertain to the video here today, just FYI for those of you who are following along here. The leg builder link is actually a feature that is unique to our network marketing features in the system. So if you are in direct sales or network marketing, you are going to really love a lot of the features that we have in place for that. But the leg builder is essentially a way. So if you turn on network marketing features, you can plug in your link for your company with like your sponsor and enroller number information. Because typically, if you're in a network marketing company, your sort of opportunity link or your shop link or whatever is going to have your sponsor and enroller information, right? So it's going to have the company URL and it's going to have some kind of like little tag thing on the end of it that helps to tell the system when that person, the visitor, signs up that that's your customer, right? Your team member, whatever. You have the ability to create kind of a mini version of that using your AttractWell website, using the leg builder links. And they are going to, depending on your company and how they have their link sharing, sponsor, enroller information, et cetera, set up, there may be some tweaking that needs to be done. So if that's something that you are really interested in using and you're not, kind of seeing it coming together for you as it relates to how your company works, definitely get in touch with our team, support@attractwell.com, and they can help you get that figured out. Heather says, can this be used for tracking for a video inside a course or program? So as of right now, no, but I believe that is worthy of a wish list item. I know that I've personally put in the wish list that I would like for this to be widely trackable. So basically, like anyone who is sent this via a campaign, et cetera, like I would love to see this applied eventually to automated selling, a la automated webinars, right? So as of right now, no. However, we do have the ability to, in online classes, if you have an online class, you have the ability to apply automations when they have completed a lesson, right? So if there's video in the lesson, and obviously it's implied you need to complete the video to complete the lesson, it's not locked that way, right? So it's not like in order to complete the lesson, you must watch 100% of the video. Like that's not something we have set up as a control. But if you want to have maybe something go out, like an email, or maybe a follow-up plan or reminder for yourself, you can attach an automation to any of the lessons in your online classes for follow-up, so that you can maybe be notified, or they can be responded to if they complete a certain step in that process. Amber says, am I able to change the URL on a link? We'll have to get into that. You wanted to maybe take a look. Okay, yeah, well, I'll bring you out here in just a moment. Let's see. Celeste, I think I saw your hand pop up first, so I'm going to grab you. And Krista, you're here also. Okay, perfect. So Celeste, let's chat real quick. How can we help?
I've been a part of AttractWell for a couple months. I mean, it's been great. I feel like my whole business has changed. I pretty much am a art techie person. So I teach people how to use Canva. I get a lot of people who, I'm a graphic designer, but I do
cool.
most of my work training people from all different areas on Canva. One of my challenges is that I am not like a marketing person. I'm a like graphics person. And so some of the things that I know that would be beneficial to me, I don't really know how to make them work. Like I figured out the vaults, I figured out the pages. I've even had I think 18 people buy one of my classes so far.
Okay.
But I noticed you all had classes, and I watched some of the videos. Some of the links that were with them, I didn't know where to find those, just so I could copy what you're doing, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And then my last resort is going to be to call somebody and be like, can you all do this for me?
Okay. So when you say the links, like copy the links, change the links, can you give me a little bit more information about what you mean by that?
Well, some of the videos say you can unlock this package, and I don't know if those are older videos or not, but it was almost like it seemed as if there was something in the system that I could unlock and have access to some of the information. And I guess I probably need to have an example of that. I wasn't expecting to talk today.
Sure. If that's something that's inside of our system, and there's something that maybe you feel like you're having trouble accessing, sometimes if it's inside of a vault, it may be that it's set up to where you need to complete the different lessons in sequential order, and so those things might be locked in that way for that reason. But they're it maybe in this case where that's concerned, if you could send a screenshot of that to our team, then we can kind of troubleshoot what that is. Because if it's a resource that we've provided and it's not unlocking for you for some reason, I know that there are a couple of things like the Pipeline Igniter and the Impact Academy that are paid offerings that we have, but everything else you should have access to as a member of the community.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure I have more questions, but I'll come back next Thursday.
Awesome. Look forward to having you then. All right, Krista, let me bring you out. Hi, how can we help?
Hi, Ashley. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Greg's been helping me too, but since you had a moment, I was like, well, maybe I can just pop on here.
Yeah.
Because my website is with Get Oiling, but with my husband's website, we did it through AttractWell, which is what I'm building on for him now. And we have a new product on his website now, and so I'm just learning how to use the store and all that. Is that something that you guys have time to just take a look at real quick, or?
Yeah, sure.
Not
sure.
today.
Is it in AttractWell or is it in Get Oiling?
Yeah, it's in AttractWell.
Okay, yeah. What's whose name is on it? The account.
Tom Bauer. So it's animatronic taxidermy. I put
Okay.
because that's how we get the email.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's Tom. I think that's what I put because I think my other one's under Christopher.
Okay. No, I got it. What a name.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he wanted because we're doing animatronics, but we're in the midst of switching over from his other taxidermy. But the big thing is I'm working on the store piece of it, and we've just
Okay.
started, we just pre-launched it. And so now I'm getting ready to get shipping and all that set up, and that's what I was kind of chatting with Greg about on the Q&A.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know if there was other, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I actually don't know the background of the questions there. So, so
well, I was
in
just
the
asking him
store?
for, yeah, it's in the store. And since we just have one main product, I mean, I linked to it on our homepage, and then it will take you to this page.
Mhm.
Because I'm not setting up a whole store. I'm just setting it up so that they can buy this product we're
Okay.
promoting with videos and stuff like that. So we did like a pre-launch a couple weeks ago where they could just pick it up locally, and now I'm getting ready to set up the shipping piece of it.
Okay.
But because I'm new to the whole store concept, does this look like that's the best way to go about doing this?
So you absolutely can. Yeah. I mean, if you've got everything set up on the back end to deliver here, then that's something you can do. You know, a page, you could also do this on a page with a form on your site, but you've already done this. I mean, it's going there. If you go to the website, you've got a page here, and we're gonna, let's see.
I put it
You're
on the
sending
top
them.
of our homepage. Yep.
Got you. In menu here. Here we go. So this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And so we could click it, we could go learn more about it. There it is. We can add it to cart. We can check out. You need to put your information in, obviously, to continue. And yeah, let's just go take a quick look. You've got your details, great. And then after they place the order, so you will want to maybe add a campaign here, you know,
Okay.
to, you know, kind of give them the lowdown about what's going to happen next. You could also, if it's digital fulfillment, I think you are going to be, you're going to be sending something out, right? It's physical fulfillment.
Yes, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So,
Yes.
so yeah, I would maybe send an email out if you need to obtain additional information from them. I don't know, Greg, would you add anything else here for physical fulfillment of a product?
Can't think of anything. I mean, you know, there's inventory or maxes. You could put something like that in there, but you know,
What's
if
the
not,
best way to do, like, because we're going to be going through FedEx, like, so do for tracking, like, should I just like email them a tracking number, or?
yeah. So like when an order is placed, there is an order screen. It's on the left under the store menu, but an order will show up there. It'll show the item, and then you can actually go in there and just like paste in the tracking number when you get it. And you can optionally add a note. Either way, it will send the person an update email automatically, so you don't have to like send a separate email. So that's after the order is placed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
And you'll be
So
able
yeah,
to
if you
put
were
this
hit,
all in.
if you were to click on edit order, it allows you to do that, then it'll notify them.
I'm sorry, I must have not heard you. So once I get the tracking number from FedEx, where do I put it so that it emails to them?
Yeah, click the edit order link under the view order button there. And then it should pop up. And yeah, so you can put in tracking number,
Oh.
shipping tracking number,
Wow.
anything you put in here. Well, not everything, but those fields in the bottom, you can have a checkbox to notify the customer. The order updated will automatically send them an email saying, hey, this has changed. There's now a tracking number. You can even put a little note there if you needed to, like, oh, okay, you know, sorry, we couldn't ship this soon enough, or, you know, maybe this will arrive a day, or whatever you want, you know, you can put a little
Okay.
note in there that shows up in the email.
Wow, that's neat. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for the question. We get a lot of store questions. I always learn something new when we do. All right, Amber, you've got your hands up and you've got a question here in the chat as well. Hello, how can we help?
Hey guys. So
Hey.
one, I was hoping you could take a look at one of my landing pages, which like the videos are all wonky for me.
Okay.
Does it change if I'm on an iPad? Like am I able to edit things differently on a laptop than I am an iPad?
So the editor is the
Or is it
same
the same?
everywhere. Yeah, the editor is the same everywhere. And if you're using Pages, then you're able to toggle between the different like, views anywhere. So here, let me get into sharing and we can take a look at that together. But yeah, on any
Okay.
device, you can edit for any device in Pages. So is this a page that we're talking about specifically?
It's a landing page and
A
it's called
landing page.
Activated Collagen.
Okay. Here we go.
Yep, that one.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
It's a little wonky and
Yeah. I would do this on a page, honestly. I would just consider making just a page because of the amount of stuff that you want to say there. I think a page would be much more
Okay.
effective here. And because so landing pages are a very simplified version of like a page. And so if what you
Okay.
need to, if what you have to say and what you want to display is pretty simple, then these are going to work really great for you. One thing, because it's a simplified feature with this, we don't have the multi-view sort of viewing this on different devices. Maybe that could be on the wish list though. I do like that idea. But yeah, in Pages, I would just basically replicate what you're doing here in a page, which would be pretty
Okay.
straightforward. And I think you could even make it more effective, like in view, right? Because what we want is to see this first, this better than Botox, and we want to see this information, and then these bullet points maybe go next to the video, right?
Okay.
Let's see. What are we? Oh, people are asking for information about the collagen here, right?
Yeah, so I want to get people's email and
Yeah.
then I want to, after they opt in their email, then it sends them a link to purchase.
Oh, okay.
But I could just have a purchase link because now that you're making me think about it on that way, I would get their email if they did purchase. But I like, even if they just want info, I want to
So
build my email list.
yeah. So what I would maybe consider doing is taking some of the information that you have and then maybe rounding it out with AI, maybe creating a PDF or something with tips about collagen. And you could even say, basically copy and paste information about the product name, etc., and tell the AI, I want to create a 1,500 word, 2,000 word article that's going to provide tips and tricks on how to, get more youthful skin. And I want the call to action to be to purchase this product. Right. And then you
Okay.
can make that like a lead magnet, and then you offer that on a page like this. Right. And then in that campaign that's going out after they opt in to get your free thing, and the free thing is none of this, right? We're selling something right here.
Yeah.
We give them something free, but you put this kind of information in the campaign that drips out after the fact. Because now, like,
Okay.
that they're interested in taking action and getting a result, right? That's why they opted in to get the free thing. Now there's someone who should learn about this collagen, right? This is someone who needs to understand that there's a difference between, putting it on your face and putting it into your body, et cetera, right? Like you're able to actually draw that out more effectively if you put a free thing that doesn't sell anything outright, like on the front end, like here's a thing that'll help you get a result you want, and then you start dripping the sales messages after, because that's what's qualifying.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. And then my next question was, for some reason, when I'm putting in YouTube videos in my course, like they're not saving, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Like I'm plugging them in the link and then I'm clicking save, and I had to go back through and like add them in again. And
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay, and this is in an online class?
It's in a vault. Yep.
Okay, so which class is it?
If you go to vaults and then it's detoxing your life,
Okay,
that class.
okay. And so
So
you're
sitting is
adding
the new
videos here.
No, that one, well, that one I had a video. It's the sitting is the new smoking is the one. And then
Okay,
I added a YouTube link. And for some reason, I don't know that it's saving. Oh, you see it?
Mhm.
Look at me. Okay.
Yep, yep, you
Okay,
can
and
put
then
that there.
lastly,
Uh-huh.
okay, lastly, I have two more things. One, are there
Okay.
templates anywhere in AttractWell that give like templates on how to like type into AI what I need? Like
We
kind of like
have
prompts.
Yeah, we did actually. We did a training. If you go to so if you got the Impact Amplifier Academy, I did some super in-depth stuff with like tons of prompts if you ever wanted to check that out. But in our free trainings, if you
Yeah.
type in "write with AI" here, this gives you our
Okay.
replays from these calls we do on Thursdays. And we have a lot here. Here we go, right with AI prompts. I think I've got a PDF on this one, where we just kind of go
Neat.
through, yeah, there's a cheat sheet right here. So I've got, just sort of here is an idea for you, like how to go about, here, I'm gonna pop this into the chat, how to go about constructing prompts, if you wanna grab that. And that is,
Awesome.
again, for this one, AI prompts for coaches, consultants, and course creators is what that one's called.
That's awesome. Okay, and then lastly, on one of my pages, am I allowed to edit the URL for that, or is it just what it is? Because I recreated a page to get rid of Stand Store, because I can use AttractWell instead. So I made a Stand
Uh-huh.
Store, and then when I go to share it, am I able to edit that link, or do I have to make it on a page in my website to get it to say the Detox Warrior?
Okay, so what is it, a page that's in your AttractWell account? Like, is it one of
Yes.
these? Okay, which one is it? Is it this one?
Stand Store, yep.
Okay, so you're talking about like literally changing the link that people type in to be able to arrive at this page, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, yeah, so that's going to be in the page settings, and that's this right here, this link path. So if you wanted to call this store, right, or if you, well, probably wouldn't call this store unless you wanted to use like the store feature, but whatever you wanted to call this, shop, you can choose what that is, but that's how you change it. It's this link path.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks for coming out. All right, Angela, on my sales page for my current offer, I don't know how to fix the graphic at the top of the page. It's oversized, don't know how to fix. Here's the page. Let's go take a quick look at that. And then TL, I see your hand up. I'm going to pull you out here in just a moment. Okay, let's see. All right, bear with me just a second. We're going to get into Angela's account and we're going to take a quick look at this. All right. The graphic at the top of the page. Well, on desktop, it looks okay, actually, but let me grab you, Angela, so we could just talk through this real quick. And I can confirm that I'm looking at the right thing. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good to have you on. All right, so this is the page, right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting that on yours it looks okay because when I open it up, the woman is not even visible. She's all the way over to the right.
Yeah, so this is
And
this is a mobile setting, so, or a mobile view setting. So this one is called, what is the name of it in the system?
the ABC 3 Steps to Permanent Change Sales Core Sales page.
Okay.
The second one on the right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, got you. So this one is not visible on mobile or tablet.
Oh,
And I suppose here, let's just take a quick look here and see. All right, this is left positioned. We
Because-
could maybe center position it and see if that makes a
because
difference.
it was,
Mhm.
when I was trying to update it, Ashley, Gabby had helped me with it, but when I was trying to update it, it was in there twice. There were two of them.
Oh,
So I
right,
deleted
because
one of them.
so one of them would have
Um,
been the mobile version. So what we can do,
Oh,
what we can do is just, what you want to do is substitute, like basically create a version of this section that has this information that maybe just has this neutral color background as opposed to having a lady on one side of it, right? So now, right now, because we don't have the mobile section, this is what we look like on desktop. This is what we look like on tablet, which isn't terrible, but you're missing that call to action at the top, right?
yep.
And then on mobile, we're missing that here as well. So you just want to make sure that you
Okay.
have a section that replaces this one that has this, this verbiage and this button call to action here.
So I don't understand. So what do I need to do?
You need to create an additional version. So basically the one that got deleted, we need to create a new version of that does what this does, right? So this essentially is going to be maybe a 1-column section since it's on mobile. And, and this is where we would maybe grab all of this. And I don't know if this is going to copy. Well, we're going to find out here in a second. Let's see, we'll pop this in here, we'll paste. Actually,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
not
okay.
terrible. That's not bad at all,
No.
actually. So we're gonna make that and actually this needs to be changed to a button. So that's your light blue button. And you'll of course want to make sure that you
Yeah.
make sure the button's coded up appropriately and everything.
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, now if we view, this would be our desktop, which is normal. And then this is what that other one looks like.
Okay,
and
so
then
we just wouldn't have the picture on the mobile okay.
that's
Oh,
right.
I should have
Yeah.
asked, I guess, before I deleted it. Because I'm like, why is this in here twice?
That's okay. Nothing's broken. So yeah, I would just go in and
Okay.
make sure that your book now link is appropriately
So,
coded.
so so above that, so if you go up a little bit so I can see the very top of the page. Okay, so on that one, we have those two. Okay, so that's tablet and mobile.
Mhm.
And the
And
other
then
one, and the
these,
other two are desktop and PC.
yeah, it'd be like a desktop or a laptop. So these are widescreen views,
Okay.
and then these are tall views,
Okay.
tablet and mobile. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Okay, and you'll save that for me?
Yep.
And then I'll go in and check it out. Okay,
Yep.
all
You
right,
got it.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, TL, hi, how can we help?
Hey folks, how you doing? Thanks for taking my inquiry. I was wondering, any chance I could scam you into taking a quick look at my about page?
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, give me just a second to get into your account.
It's not so much a technical thing, but it's more like an aesthetic sales feedback I could do with. I seem to have come up with a bit of a dud, not going forward.
Okay. Okay, so I found the about page. Let me share real quick here. All right, let's go view and take a look. What's your issue with this? You said there's a dud.
third
What's the
part.
dud? Oh, the third part?
What I don't know is, does this belong here? How my system works? Is that the right page to put that on?
Okay. Well, I guess the beginning of solving for that question is, what do you want somebody to do after they've come here and interacted with information?
Hopefully sign up to work with me.
Okay, okay, great. So, so we're telling a story. Great. Then this matters. This fits here. How my program works. That's great. What you can expect in your first 90 days. Ready to take the first step. I don't know what's going on here. I wonder if that's my computer or if there is an issue with the photos here. There is an issue. Okay.
Well, that's
Okay.
I'm not even. I can't remember if I even finished that section, to be honest. So that might be.
Got you. Okay. So let's just hide them for now so that they aren't showing up on the page. There we go. Yeah, no, I think if that's basically what you're doing is you're saying, hey, here's who I am. This is what I'm about. You're here because you're interested in who I am. And that means you might be curious about working together. So here's a little bit of my backstory and why you might vibe with me. You might, see me as being a fit. This learn more, where does learn more go here?
Learn more would go to the freebie magnet, which I haven't programmed yet.
Okay. If your goal of this page is to get someone to take action on working with you, I would not go to your freebie there. Because you're kind of, you're jumping in with an option for them to take before you've actually made the compelling pitch for them to get on a call with you or buy your program or something like that. So I would skip that part there. I would maybe remove the call to action right here and just not have this so that they can continue exploring. So what does working together look like? You're answering that question here. That's something that's on their mind when they're on this page. After they've read this far, this is the next thing that they want to know, which is great. What to expect, also great. Another thing that you could do is after you say how my program works, you could put a section with a call to action there. And then if they aren't quite ready to take action, then you can say, here's what your first 90 days looks like. And then you could give another call to action and then what you're doing actually right here. So, so the first step for someone, if they read everything on this page and they're interested in working with you, you want to send them to get a mind map training, or do you want to talk to them?
What would you think is the more
If they
intelligent thing to
just,
do?
yeah, if they just read a whole page about my life story and what working with me looks like, I would be directing them toward booking a call with me on a page like this one for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
on your
good with that.
homepage and maybe other pages on your website, putting the sort of lighter weight, here's a free thing you can peruse, that's fine. But somebody came here and got emotionally gripped, right? And they feel connected to you now. And so the best next step for them is to actually interact with you. And that's a call to action I would use here.
Excellent. That is exactly the kind of clearing up I needed to do. I got a little muddled amidst all the modules and everything. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah, sure thing. Glad to have you out. All right, I think there was another question. Nope, that was Angela. So we got that one handled. Fantastic. Great questions today, you guys. Let me see. Amber, you're good, right? Zoom's still just showing your hand up. I want to make sure that we're cool. Let me know. And yeah, you guys will be back here same time next week if you don't have other questions. And of course, if there is something that you would like to learn, something you'd like to know, if you have something that's on your wish list, let us know. We are always looking for ways to serve you better. Oh, we have 2 minutes, Amber. Yeah, let me take a quick look at your homepage. Yeah, sure, fine, we can do that. Actually, I shared too soon. Bear with me just 2 seconds. We can take a look at your homepage and I'll give you some quick feedback. Definitely sign up for maybe a review next week if you want to go in a little greater depth. Want to be mindful of everyone's time here. But here we go. All right, let's go view your site. Ooh. Okay. This and this is nitpick. You actually have formatted this really nicely. It looks good. But if you want to be more effective with your copy in a section like this, you need to speak straight to the person. So they're arriving here and you're saying who you are and what you are. But what you really need to be communicating is here's what I am to you, reader. Hi, reader, I know who you are. I see you. Here's what I do for you. Get this thing. So I would make a little bit of a shift here. And instead of saying who you are, call them out, right? Let's see. This is fantastic. You've got a sort of a storyline of thinking here. You're leading them through, making them scroll. This is good. This is good. Let's see, apply here. It's great. Do make sure that where you have apply here, I think this one is correct. This one is not linking to where you want it to go. What you'll find. Awesome. I would maybe find a way to say, oop, let's not do this. If we're trying to have a compelling call to action for them to take that step, let's make this about taking that step. And if you give them a pop-up, then they're going to forget about this compelling conversation you just started with them. So let's not do a pop-up. I would encourage you, and this is advice for anybody, if you can find a way to say what you need to say in fewer words, it will help your website. While all of this is good and it says clearly what it needs to say, our brains don't like to read that much text, right? If you can find a way to say it in 5 words, you will win, right? That's why really good copywriters make good money, right? All right. Ooh, this is a nice, nice image that you have here. This is good. Here's you, fantastic. Make sure this goes off to your about page. Also good. I would consider going into Canva and reformatting these photos so that they are all like basically the same, same image size, so that they just play a little bit nicer together. Another thing that you could certainly do, like Greg showed at the top of the call as well, is create a carousel. Fabulous. You've got your blog posts in here. You've got your Insta. Oh, I love it. And then of course you've got your final call to action, and that is going to the correct spot. So really great work. You're off on the right track. I hope those tips help for you today. And if you want, we can get into a little bit of a deeper conversation next week. Sign up for a live review. I believe there's still space available. And that is open to everyone. If you would like to sign up for a live work review, we offer those every single week. You can set time aside and we can dive in together. All right. We appreciate your time here. We love having you being part of this community. Speaking of community, join us on Facebook. We have a group. And we will be back here same time next week. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.